Hi, my name's Richard. It's going to be an explanation video on how to operate our Sunseeker Funseeker. So we're going to start inside. Keys, opening the door. I just locked it. Now it's open. There is a latch on this side of the door to keep it open. So, first thing when entering the vehicle, to initiate the power, there is a master shut-off for the battery. So this needs to be plugged in and should remain plugged in through the whole trip. Once inside the vehicle, we can bring you over to the control panel first. Bring it a little bit closer. We can go through a few of the features. So this is the water heater. That is off. That is on. You want to keep it on. You should keep it on during your entire trip. This is the water pump. Again, off. This is the on switch. The Arctic winter pack should remain off through the summer. Living room lights, kitchen lights can all remain on while you're active. And they can also be turned on and shut off at the fixture itself. To operate the slide, there is an in and an out button. The slide is currently out, and you can retract it in. To retract it in, first you will need to remove the ladder and place it out of the way.
And the curtain.
And the curtain. So you want to bring it in all the way until you hear it click multiple times. You can let go, push it again, and it will click. That means it is fully in. To retract it out, all you do is push it the other way. And again, it will click once it's hit the out position. We can move on to the generator. The generator will only operate if there is at least a quarter of tank of gas in the unit itself. It's fed directly off the gas tank and will auto shut off so that you don't run out of gas while running the generator. So first step is to prime it. You need to hold it down until the light turns on. Once the light turns on, you can start the ignition. If after a few seconds it does not start, this may happen your first time. Stop, prime it again, and start it. In this case, it started on our first attempt. To shut the generator off, simply move down to the stop position. On the panel itself, there are a few features for testing levels on the unit. You have a battery feature, currently at 11.9. It hasn't been charged in a little while. Once you've driven the vehicle, that will charge to above 12. Fresh water, it is full at 100%. Gray, which is your sink water, shower water, at 0%. Black is your wastewater, which is also at 0%. And LPG is your propane level, which is at 94% currently. Moving on to the stove. The stove operates off of propane. To ignite the stove, you must first lift the lid and keep it in its retract position. We must use a lighter to light the stove. You turn the gas to light. And you can light the burners. All three of them will light just as well. Be sure to turn the burners off. And if you have small children, I would recommend removing the knobs so that they don't turn the gas on without you knowing, and put the knobs in a safe place and they can be returned at the end of your trip. You can bring them out to use them when you need them. There is also an oven. Don't expect many people will be using it, but if you do intend to use it, it must be pilot lit prior to using. So it must be switched to pilot light, and there is a pilot light pilot light is now lit. It must remain lit for a while. Once it's been going, you should be pushing the knob in while lighting the pilot. You can then release the pilot, push it, and set the temperature you desire. It will ignite. Be sure to turn it off and ensure that it is off at all times while sleeping and everything else. Moving on to the operation of the fridge. In order to operate the fridge, it must be in the on position. It has an auto feature, which is a depressed position for this button. In auto, it will manually switch between electricity and gas should you be plugged in to a power outlet. If you wish to just run it off of gas, if you do not have a plug-in, you can simply push it again. The fridge will remain on. If the check light is on, that means your fridge is not operating, and you should check or reset the gas and auto switch. Currently off. Moving on to the bathroom. The bathroom is packed for us to leave. There is a shower, a toilet. The toilet operates by pushing the pedal down. If you're required to add water to the bowl, you simply pull the pedal up. Depress to let it down. The sinks work as they usually would in your homes. There is a thermostat. The thermostat has a cool, a furnace, and an off position. When in cool, you must be connected to a 30 amp circuit. It may work off of 15, but 30 amp is required. It will not operate if you are not plugged in. It will operate with the generator on, however. To operate the heat, it must be in the furnace mode. If you wish to run the fan, it can be in the on position, and it has multiple speeds with your thermostats. There are switches on the wall for the bedroom. This will turn off and on the lights, but if it is off at the fixture itself, it will not operate. The microwave will only work if the generator is running or if you are plugged into power. There is a fan for exhaust in the unit. And before we leave, I will show you the carbon monoxide sensor that is freshly installed. It does run off of battery. If that battery is going dead, it will siren. To silence the siren, you simply push the silence button and it will silence the siren for you. Okay, we can move outside. There is multiple locations for storage, food, dishes, other accessories. We do have a large bunk. 3 single beds fit. We do have a mattress for the middle, If you do not require the middle mattress, we can leave the unit in this condition for you, or we can add it if desired.
What the?
Oh, the television, sorry. The television works off of an inverter. The inverter is located in the cabinet. The inverter is on when the blue light is ignited. In order to turn the TV on, simply use the remote. There is a power feature. I would suggest if you plan to watch movies, you can put them on a USB stick. We do not have a DVD player in the unit, but there is a USB port on the back of the television which will play your movies. Simply move to your source, your USB, and videos. To turn the TV off, simply hit the power. The TV does retract. Do not retract the TV while driving the vehicle. It is only meant to retract while the vehicle is in the stationary position. Okay, moving to the outside. There is a fire extinguisher for safety. You can close the door. There is a tool compartment. I intend to leave the tools in the unit at all times. You can use them. If you do use them, please ensure they are 100% replaced. Our propane compartment is here. It can be filled if you do run out of propane, which you should not. It is a very large tank, and we will ensure it's filled for your vacation.
Make sure they don't.
This is the exhaust for the hot water tank. If the hot water tank is running, it will exhaust warm air. So if you have a table out here or you're planning to put something in front of it, be very cautious, it will melt. So I suggest not putting anything in front of it. Same situation with the furnace. If the furnace is operating, this will exhaust warm air as well. We have a 15 amp plug on the exterior, which will only operate if the generator is running or the vehicle's plugged in. We have storage compartments for batteries here. Not intended for manual storage. There are batteries in here. You should not need to access them. They will charge while driving and while the generator is running. Your main storage compartments are at the rear. We are packed for a trip, but they open and they protrude through the entire rear of the vehicle. There is an inverter in this rear compartment. Please do not push equipment into the inverter. There are fuses. If those fuses come loose, your inverter will not work. Moving to this side. Again, storage compartment, which runs through the entire side. As such. Freshwater fill is located here. If you have fresh water or need to add it through your trip, you simply release the cap, fill the vehicle until it exhausts out of the overflow, and you can reseal the cap afterwards. Power and accessories are located in this compartment. To operate off a 15 amp circuit, you will require the adapter. If you have 30 amp power, you can use the 30 amp plug. There is an extension cord available in here if you cannot reach your power source, and also a freshwater hose hookup. When using the power, it should be fed through the compartment. The door should then be sealed. And it can be plugged into your source. You do not want water in the compartment. It should not be left open. If you have a freshwater connection, you can use the hose. Freshwater is connected here. If this is connected, please disconnect or disengage the pump inside the motorhome. It will auto feed your taps. Gasoline takes approximately 200 liters of gas. This is your flush intake for your septic. If you have one available at your septic station, I would recommend using this. It will clean the septic while using it. I will run through the septic quickly. The hose is kept in the rear bumper of the vehicle. It can be removed easily. Your septic is drained at this location. You must open the cap. The cap is removed. Your septic hose is attached firmly, and you pull the handles to remove the waste. Ensure that the other end of the hose is in the hole to drain your septic. Once the unit is fully drained, I suggest cleaning the hose out with fresh water at the location if available. Please ensure the valves are fully pushed in, and you can remove the hose and reattach the cap. Please, if you check your septic, your gray and black water in the motorhome, and have paid for me to do your septic tank afterwards, the septic must not go above 95%. If it does reach that level on your vacation, you must find a dump station and remove the waste. Moving on. We have our generator. You should not need to engage the generator at this location. But there is a manual start feature here as well. If required, it can be opened. It exhausts at this location. If you are parked at an angle, the exhaust may protrude in a location where it may smell. So I suggest always parking on level ground. Manually starting it happens here. Generator is regularly maintained and should work seamlessly for your trips. Okay, you're going to move on to the awning. To retract the awning, you will need the awning's tool located in the storage compartment. There is a roll down knob and a roll up position. You must switch this knob to the down position to roll the awning down. Also required before rolling down, the safety latches must be disconnected, and the black knobs should be just rolled slightly in the loose position on both sides. Disconnect the safety latch, slightly loosen the black knob so that it rolls freely. Once completed, you take your tool through the awning's latch and pull down completely into the retracted position. Once down, you will need to engage your arms. This must be loose, the black knob, so that it can roll freely. It needs to be able to move up and down freely. This should be engaged entirely to the top of the awning where there is a gray clip, and it will snap over top of. Once in that position, you can tighten the black knob so these arms do not slide anymore. That should be done on the other side as well. I'm gonna come and take a look. So again, it can slide freely, the knob is loose. You slide it all the way up to the top, past the gray clip, and tighten the awning bar so that it does not slide anymore. Once that's completed, you can lift your awning to its desired height. That would be all the way up. I suggest always keeping your awning in a leaning position to a certain degree so that if it does rain, water can flow off easy. If it rains and it's level, it can pool in the tarp and create a very heavy load and stretch the awning, and it's very expensive to replace. So please maintain it in an angled position, and if it's extremely windy, please ensure you retract the awning. To bring the awning back to its original position, we basically do those steps in reverse. You will retract the arms down to the lowered position on both sides. Please don't let them slam. You can then loosen the awning bar here. You will need to depress the gray clip. It depresses and the bar will slide freely into the lowered position. Keep this loose at this point. Do not tighten this yet. The same must be done on this side. So loosen the bar, retract the gray clip, and slide it into the lowered position. Once in the lowered position, you are ready to retract your awning. You should maintain a grip on the bar or on the cord that is attached to the awning. The awning switch must now be switched into the up position, which is down from this level. Once in the down position, the awning will begin to roll up on its own. Ensure you keep a grip on the awning so that it does not slam at the top. Once at a high enough level, you can attach your tool and let it easily slide into the end position. Once in the end position, you will then engage the safety clip. You can tighten the bar and do the same on the other side. Engage the safety clip and tighten the bar. That concludes our lesson with the awning. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you've taken some notes for any questions you might have when you come to pick up the units. Feel free to reach out to me in advance if you have any questions you'd like answered sooner. Thank you very much.